to finding calm in the chaos. I am Denise Sith, and this is my podcast. Hello, everybody. It's Denise. Welcome to another episode of Finding Calm in the Chaos. Happy Wednesday, my friends. Okay. What are we going to talk about today? We got tons of stuff going on. Happy August. We're in August, which means that literally we're less than 60 days away from fall. Because I'm going to be really honest with you guys. I am done with summer. Because I don't know who thinks summer means like 90 plus degree temps with like 90% humidity and, you know, it's 100 and something with the heat index. I live in the Midwest. We're not built for this weather. And if you like this kind of heat and you live in the Midwest, Arizona is calling your name. All of the deserts on the West Coast. They're all looking for you. Their name is calling. They're calling you because you don't belong here. And I also think that I've been talking to all my friends. I think that if you are over the age of 55, you are done with heat. Heat is like the devil. It is not okay. Like literally. Is literally the devil. Yeah, I'm over heat. Like I can't do this. You guys, it's too much. It's too much. It flares my lupus. I'm swollen. My lymph system sucks. It's just a shit show. I don't feel good. You can't put anything on your face. I see all these girls out here. They got like eyelashes. They're like caterpillars. They have 6 pounds of makeup on them, plus contour. How the hell does that stay on your face? I put serum and lotion on with a lip balm and my face is melting. Stop it. I'll never understand that. I don't understand. You don't need all that makeup. Don't. Nope. You just don't. Like, I don't even want to put shit in my hair when it's this hot. I go straight to the clip. Or sometimes I'm like, since I've been home from Italy, I like want to do like, my hair's doing this like wavy thing. And that's awesome. It looks great. The other day I straightened it just to see like, hey, how long's my hair now? Because I had to cancel my hair appointment because I got something going on with Pete that day. And I'm like, well, no, that's a conflict of interest. So naturally my shit gets canceled. But I rescheduled. So I'm going to get it done. And then I'm totally going. So I've been asking on social media and y'all have been answering and I appreciate that. But in all honesty, I just like to get like reaffirmation or affirmation. It's a reaffirmation because I've already kind of reaffirmed with myself. So there's that. I'm making that word up. But I feel like the blonde is washing me because I'm already ready from the lupus and I'm not tan and I don't want to be tan and I don't want a tanner. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like I need to put anything on me to make me darker. I am pasty and I want to stay that color. I feel like it's healthier than skin cancer. You know what I'm saying? So I'm super pasty and I feel like it's washing me. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, what other color would look good on you? Red. I love red. I look so good in red hair, but I can't go red because it's high maintenance. You have to get your hair done if you are not a redhead every 2 to 3 weeks. Not even joking. Because if not, just looks crappy. Because all you see is roots. Red really, really shows roots. And you got to keep it vibrant. It fades real fast. As do red cars. So it's kind of like a red car. Doing that with your red hair. Oh, I'm probably like dragging this on my cord. But here we go. See if that helps. My little dollies that are stuck to my microphone are like sliding all over the place. What else is going on? So I think what I'm going to do is start doing like darker caramel, like a burnt caramel. I'm going into those fall colors, but I'm thinking I'm going to try to do like a color match with the back of my head that I don't color because I just do high and low lights. So what if I high and low light back to my original like color, which I really don't know what it is. It's darker. maybe like a chestnut brown with caramel undertones or I don't know, overtones. This is why I have a colorist. I have no idea about any of that. Any of that. That's why she's the professional. That's why I pay her the big bucks. So I think that's what I'm doing. And it definitely needs to be trimmed. My hair has not been this long since my wedding. And it's atrocious. I'm not going to lie. I either want to go all short or we have to do something that I can style my hair. Everyone's like, your hair looks so nice long. And then I'm reading when I can't sleep because I can't sleep again. I either sleep like the whole night and it's 10 hours or I get like 2 hours in and that's it. So, it is what it is. And I think that I need to go with the darker hair. And I think I'm going to stay that way for now. But I either want to like shave it all off and go pixie again, which my hair professional is not going to agree with. There is no way. She's going to be like, nope. She is the one. So this current girl that I see, Jenny, she basically nurtured and grew trust, helped me grow trust in her. After the horrible pixie cut that I got that made me look like I was a cancer patient again. It was horrible. It was traumatizing because I've had cancer before and I've had to cut off my hair. It was that bad. And for those of you who were like, have been with me all this time, like, it was horrible. And so Jenny has helped me like grow my hair out, go through all the stages to get it to where it is today. So it is long by any means. And so there's no way she's cutting it. I just know that for a fact. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. So I'm thinking of going darker. So at least I have control of that. Like I let her pick whatever color she wants. Cause I don't care. And they always have like cute names. Like, what would be a cute name for a color that I want? Coca-Cola. I want Coca-Cola and caramel apple. There you go. But not red. I just want like the caramel part of the caramel apple. Yeah. You know how it is. But yeah, we're in August. It is crazy. Like, public schools are going back to school. Some of them already. Here's me like, yay. Because when the public schools go back, you know what that means for homeschoolers? We get the places to ourselves again. Yeah. I love that part. School's going back. Things will be empty again. We appreciate that. We love it that way. What else am I doing? Rugby's going to be starting soon again, but I don't know when. So I have to call and find out, or send a text to our coach because, calendar's filling fast. So there's that. What else is going on? I missed the county fair again. Yeah. I'm kind of bummed out because I really wanted to go. But then I thought if I go, I wasn't feeling well because I wasn't sleeping. And then it's probably because Mr. Sith is not feeling well. And of course my body was fighting it off because he was walking around not telling anybody he was sick before he's actually sick. My parents came to visit just to come in, have lunch. They had a doctor's appointment. Of course, my mom's sick before she leaves the house. Awesome sauce, right? Awesome sauce. What else is going on this month? So we're not going to start homeschooling this year until September, like normal time. We're going to start schooling normal time. And I went through all the curriculum. I got the entire room set up. We're switching from the kitchen into my office. And I've set it up to kind of have more natural light, have a light in here. We've got a dry erase board this year. We've got a big map of the world. We're doing etiquette. We're doing everything. You know what else we're doing? I've got about 4 science electives this year, but we're going to finish off with human anatomy. And we're going to start talking about the birds and the bees. I just feel it's super important. I started reading this. I'm listening audiobook. You guys know when I say I'm reading, I'm either reading a physical book, a physical book or an audio. I count them both together now. But I'm doing an audiobook on a Christian-based series on how to introduce basically human sexuality and do it so that they don't seek outside sources for it. And that's all I really want to achieve at this point. I just think it's super important that he gets the information from me and there's a trust level. I want to start making that trust level, but just to get a little help. I think that's like the main point at this part, that he knows basic human anatomy. We're going to start diving into like little specifics and stuff like that as we go along. But I'm all set. He's going to do some typing. We're going to continue cursing. Not cursing, cursive. That is glorious mistake. That's hilarious. Oh, I snorted. Not cursing. We're going to continue cursive. Handwriting. Math, language arts, got American history, world history. We did start world history early. We do the History of the World by Susan Bauer. It is a great series, even for adults, I feel. It's very informative. It goes and like attaches to various grade levels depending on what you want to do. And I love it. I think it's really awesome. But it is we're in the 1600s. We ended with like Charlemagne and now we're on Philip and Ferdinand and kind of going forward from there. So there's a lot that needs to be done in this book. So it's about maybe 6 or 7 weeks. I don't remember, longer than the school year. So I figured if we start early, there are a few short chapters we can double up during the year. But until then, like, it's fine. But I feel a big comfort level in my homeschooling this year. I'm super prepared. I already went through all of the books. I've got everything broken down on what we're going to do per day. That's kind of it. And then we do have, we're going to be going back to the homeschool co-op on Thursdays. So there's a whole story with that I'll talk about in another podcast, because in all honesty, I'm still kind of processing. I know I've talked about this, I think in the last episode, and I'm literally just cannot share the story yet because I feel like I need to be there first before I can share it. Because my mind projects into so many scenarios that I'd want it to happen before I could do things. But we did shorten our day there. It was a full day from 8:30 in the morning till 3. And I've just decided that was too much during the day for both of us. So we have a break during the day. I canceled 2 afternoon classes and then we just end the day with theater. We love that teacher. It's going to be awesome. And then there's that. What else is going on? I'm trying to think what else is going on. We've been seeing movies. Pete and I have decided that because it's so effing hot that we were going to go to the movies. We saw 2 movies last week. We saw How to Train Your Dragon, which was not bad. I'm not a fan of like making cartoon animated series into movies with real life people, but I felt like they did a really good job and they stuck to the storyline, and it's a really cute movie in general. So I was like, let's go see that. We loved it. And then we also went and saw Bad Guys 2. And it was really good and my husband was saying that Rotten Tomatoes, is that what it's called? I don't know what it's called. I think it's called Rotten Tomatoes, right? The movie guide thing. It's so Bad Guys 2 animated series got the highest rating they've ever given, apparently. It was really good for a second movie. Because you know how they take a process, any kind of movie, it doesn't matter if it's animated or not. You make a second one, there's a lot to be desired. Usually, they're eking out some cash flow, blah, blah, blah. But it was pretty good. Like, I enjoyed it wholeheartedly. And then I think they wonderfully set themselves up for another movie without it being boring as well. I was like, hey, I do like it. That is one of my newest animated films, franchise, whatever you want to call it, that has come out in the last 10 years that I thoroughly enjoy. The Bad Guys. Love it. Big Bad Wolf. All of them. Love it. What else are we doing? We're still riding. We're going to see Sketch. this Saturday. There's been a lot of debate about this movie. It's one of the releases from Angel Studios, which is Christian based. And there are a lot of people mad about this movie. And I'm like, see, nobody's ever happy with anything. See, it's all part of this, far left, far right, not Christian, too Christian. It's like, can't everybody just find a happy middle? But apparently, I haven't seen the movie, so I don't know. We got 2 free tickets for parents through we're guild members of the Angel Network. So it's one of those. It's just a subscription service, a streaming service. And I'm a guild member, so that means like you buy the big one or whatever for the year, and then you get free movie tickets, all sorts of stuff. So we only had to pay for Peter's ticket. And then you get kind of like first bill of going to see like the movie when it comes out. So that's what we did. So we got 2 free tickets for me and Mr. Sith, and then just paid for Peter's to go see it. And it's just what it appears to look like from the trailer is a little girl is going through the loss of what I'm assuming is her mom because her dad is there and maybe as a girlfriend. I don't know because I haven't seen it yet. But nevertheless, it's the girl is getting dark, meaning she's depressed, right? She needs to talk to somebody. And apparently what I'm assuming is her therapist, but because it's not the 2 people who seem to be her parents in the movie, gives her a notebook and tells her to like draw her stuff in there. I mean, it's very therapeutic, right? So she starts drawing like with one of the pictures they show is like a big eye with legs, and instead of spiders, she calls them eiders. And I mean, that's kind of, here's me thinking that's totally Pete. Like he should love this movie. He sketches some pretty crazy stuff. And then apparently something happens. I don't know how, but they come to life. They come to life and only she can destroy them and her friends. I'm like, okay, so like it's a power move, right? She learns to come to grips with her internal demons and her sorrow and her grief. And she apparently, hopefully, I'm assuming it ends well because it's an Angel Network production. And people are like all mad. It's so dark. I mean, I wouldn't take a 5-year-old to see it or a 6-year-old. My kid's going to be 10. I think that's he can address that. He can wrap his head around it. The whole moral of the story-ish. He's experienced loss. So, yeah, there's that. So I'll let you know how that is next week. We'll talk about it and we'll see if that works. And then next week, I'm also getting my hair done. So it's not going to be by the time I record the podcast, though, because I believe that one will already be done. So it'll be the week after that. We'll have the hair update unless you're on my social media and then you'll already see it because I'll plaster it everywhere. I normally don't take pictures of it like at the shop, which I really should. I should take a picture of me and Jenny in the magical chair. Her place was called Jenny's Magical Chair. And I laugh at her all the time about it because I love like Harry Potter and all those things, magic. So it was like, which goes to bring me, speaking of magic and Angel Network, I get stuff from them all the time. And I got an email, and plus there were like some ads or something on my phone about, do you like magic and wizards and like, fun stuff and video games? And I'm thinking, yes. But you want it to be like wholesome and, not dark content. And I'm like, yeah. And you should watch The Wayfinders. And I'm like, oh, cool. There's a new magic show. Yay. So I love all things magic. Y'all know I love Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. I love all of the magic, Lock and Key. I have seen them all. Okay. They're not all created equal, but nonetheless, I love the magic. So I know a lot of people who are Christian don't do magic. That's okay. You do you, boo. I like the magic. Okay. I don't judge. You do you. I do me. Don't judge me. I don't judge you. Simple as that. Wayfinders. I pull it up on Angel Network. I'm watching it, right? It's like episode 1. I'm like, yes. It's a series. And I get on because it's hard for me to find a series right now because I wind up hating somebody within Hollywood in it. And then I can't watch the whole show because of it. Because I am a 100% non-Hollywood type of person. So we're watching the Wayfinders, and it's really good. Like me and Peter watching it, and he was kind of drifting in and out, but he got the hang of it. But he was like, "Yeah, it was pretty good. I liked it." I'm like, "Did you watch any of it?" Apparently he did, but it was so good. And then at the end, I'm like, "Yeah, you know how if you let the credits roll, the little corner pops up, and it's like, episode 2 starting in 5, 4, 3." That didn't happen. All of a sudden, like some people popped up, and it's the producers of the show, and I'm like, "No. Do not do me dirty like that, Angel Network." And they did. They were the producers saying, if you liked this episode of The Wayfinders, you're going to love the rest of the series that starts in December because they're finishing production up in Ireland. And here's me. There's not even a show right now. It was not an episode. It was a pilot. There's a difference. It said episode 1. It is not an episode 1. It is a pilot. Pilot. So people know there is nothing else behind it. It is a pilot, not an episode. So now I got to wait till December. And by that time, in all honesty, in my world, I could totally forget that show exists and never watch it again. Never. That's how I roll. I have to start watching The Chosen again because I went to watch the new episode in the latest season, of which I don't know any of the numbers for. So that's why I was like, I don't know what season's what. I'm pretty sure I watched it all and I was waiting on a season. But now I watched that season. I had no idea what was kind of going on. And I'm like, I think maybe I need to start with 1 again, or at least 2, and go from there. So I think I'm in it to win it, and I'm going to start with 1 again. So now I got to start The Chosen all over because I forgot. I mean, I understand it's the Bible, but I want to know like all the little, I got to watch shit consistently. It's got to be in a roll. Like if you still have, like, what's another show that started? Oh, the one with the little kid. What is it called? I just had to put y'all on hold so that I can ask Mr. Sith what it is. So Sweet Tooth. I watched that baby all the way. Apparently there's another season came out. I got nothing. I don't know, because I never went back to watch it. So that's why I'd prefer the whole season's out. You cancel it. Everybody knows it's canceled. Then I will just watch it all with the expectation of knowing that when it's over, it's over. 100%. Do you know what I'm saying? One thing we did watch, my mom recommended a reality show, which I don't do like Bachelor, Bachelorette, Big Brother. I just can't do it. I just can't. First off, most likely because number 1, I'm pretty conniving and I would win one of those shows 100% because I will totally have a social game and I can look you right in the face and totally make shit up. Period. And everybody would hate me because people either like me or they don't like me. And I'm okay with that. So I'd have 50% chance on those shows. Amazing Race. If my mind, body, and knowledge were all connected in one, it would be beautiful. But sometimes like I watch people on those shows and I'm like, you're literally racing for $1 million. Get your ass up right now and run. Why is she running like that? Because me, I will run and collapse at the end. But I will get to where we're getting. Just out of sheer determination. If you know, you know. Like anybody else like that? Like I will literally, if you ran after me, I could barely get up the stairs. But if you told me there was a huge monster chasing me and there was a fence in front of me, I would jump that MFer so fast. You wouldn't even know what happened. You'd be like, where's Denise? I'm on the other side of the fence. Let's go, peeps. Let's go. And worry about it later. Later on, I'd be like, geez, I think my hip is dislocated. But whatever, I hop the fence. I do what's got to be done in the moment. Apparently not everybody, not so much. So she recommended the show called Destination X. She's like, you're going to love it because it's all about traveling. And I don't know his name again. So it's Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Again, I don't know who this person is, but apparently he's from the zombie movie, which I never remember, the series. And he is a big character. I don't know, but you might know. So there you go. Jeffrey Dean Morgan. So he's the host of this. And these people have no idea where they're going, no phones, no maps, no nothing, no GPS. All they have are clues that are given to them. They're traveling around on a bus, a pretty swanky bus, but a bus nonetheless. And they have to wear these virtual reality like goggles that he sends like images to, not all the time when they're on the bus, but they can't see out the windows of the bus either, unless they want them to see out the windows. But everything they do, what he says, where they are, all around them, in the notes they get, are all clues to a city that they bring them in. And that city is called Destination X. But they will tell you leading up to that city, the Destination X, they will stop in places and tell you how many miles they are from this Destination X. I mean, even Peter guessed the first one, okay? Because I'm like, we were just there. I hope everybody knows this one. I mean, even Peter knew it. Like I said, he's like, Rome, they're going to Rome. Yet they are indeed, my friend, going to Rome. So it was interesting. At the very end, I was guessing shit. I'm like, wow, like, come on. I know all these. And at the very last two destinations, the last destination, nobody knew where they were. I did. I just rattled that out. Mr. Sith was like, oh, I think you're right. I don't think I'm right. I know I'm right. That's where they are. I'm not going to tell you because what if you're watching the show and you haven't watched it yet? I'm not that kind of spoiler person. And then at the very end, who's going to win? Like, I gotta tell you, like, we had two people in there that I thought were decent. You know, if I had two people I wasn't unhappy with anybody who was at the end. If either one won, it would have been great, but one played better than the other. And, you know, I'm also not going to say who won. There's that. I highly recommend Destination X. I'd watch another season, but we did wait to watch the whole season. So it wouldn't be, my mom's like, what'd you think of it? I'm like, it was awesome, but I felt like it was a little too easy. I'm going to be really honest with you. I don't know if it's just because I travel. Sometimes I ask Mr. Sith, do I have like this extraordinary intelligence, knowledge level that some people like they no clue, no sense of direction, it's just strange to me. Like, you know, I don't even know where we are. Well, I mean, you know where the sun is. It just, there's, but then you see, like, there's this guy on Instagram. I'm sure he's on TikTok, but I don't do TikTok, but I see his reels on Instagram, and he's just a younger kid who will ask people questions. And he's based out of New York, and it scares me on what the hell is going on in New York. Because Jay Leno used to do this stuff. Remember Jay Leno back in the day, right? Nighttime talk show host. I think Jimmy Fallon took over his shit. I don't know. Because I don't watch any of it anymore because I hate them all. But he asks random people on the street information, and it scares the shit out of me that these people answer the way they do. One of the questions, now, if you're not from America, you probably can answer these questions in all honesty, okay? But the fact that these people are citizens, and I'm not making any like derogatory whatever, these are people who are freaking New Yorkers. They're younger kids, okay? But I'm sorry, I feel like if you're younger, you don't get exempt from knowledge. You should recall the knowledge quicker because it's like fresher in your mind. You know what I'm saying? I literally play these when I come upon them and pause them and have Peter answer them so that I can confirm I'm doing a good job. That's where we're at. It's horrible. They asked one girl, what language do they speak in Idaho? She said Italian. I'm not even joking. How many states are there in the United States? Like 20, somebody said 21. Somebody said 58. Here's me. Wait, what? Oh, some kid like broke it down. Oh, you're trying to trick me on this because there's like 11 stars on that one flag that go. Here's me. Wait, what? Like too much, man. Too much. Who is the first president of the United States of America? And everyone's like, someone said Martin Luther. And here's me. Oh, which one? Like Martin Luther Jr.? Like Martin Luther King Jr.? Or like Martin Luther? Because we're like way off if it's Martin Luther. You know, like, wait, what? Just various things like that. What is, who's our current vice president? And a few people said Kamala Harris. And this isn't old. This is like new video. So it should have, not been Kamala Harris. Just tons of stuff like common sense. If you have $1 and you spend 75 cents and your friend gives you 50 cents, how much money do you have left over? And people are like, 350. Oh, y'all trying to be like, the things they say to them too. See, you trying to like trip me up right now. You're trying to trip me up. And I'm like, okay, he just asked you what language people speak in Idaho. He's not trying to trip you up. Name one country in North America. Oh, I don't know nothing about geography, brah. And I'm like, wait, what? What? Why? I'm like, no. And then I'm looking at Peter. I'm like, pause. Name 3 countries in North America. He's like, Canada, America, and Mexico. I'm like, thank you. Thank you. Unbelievable. It's literally mind-numbing. It's mind-numbing that these kids don't know this basic information. And there are worse questions that hurt me. They literally hurt me when he asks. It hurts me that these kids do not know the answer immediately. And when I say kids, they're anywhere between like 18 and like 25 years old. That's sad because these people are out of school already and possibly in a higher education zone. So like you should know these answers without a problem. Scary. What else is going on? I'm just like rambling today. Rambling on. What else is going on? I'm trying to think. I don't know. But, oh, goodness. I have one big thing coming up and that's it. I'll talk about that in a little bit. I'll probably do that next week. I don't want to talk about that yet. Rome. So, I promised everybody we'd talk about the rest of the vacation trip. So it'll be pretty quick. But, I left you guys last in Florence. We kind of just walked right around the block, down our street and around the corner to a little coffee shop called Vivaldi. They had a really nice cornetos there, like the little croissants that are stuffed. They were yummy. I liked them. And they had a great area. It did wind up raining, which was so strange because it was really bright and sunny. And then all of a sudden it started raining. So we had to grab our suitcases and the owners invited us to come on in and go in the back. They have these little birds. I forget what they were called, but Peter was literally hand feeding them. They're that trained to eat. Like we were just on off the beat by the Arno River, just right down there. Just locals basically were at this place, unless you were like, you lived near it in the VRBO like we did. But these birds were walking right up to him and eating out of his hand. We have pictures. It's crazy. I was like, are you kidding me right now? And they came in droves. Beautiful buildings, like apartment buildings and all that. It was a beautiful sky that day. I really, really loved the cafe itself. It was, what did they do there? So it was a cafeteria, gelateria, pasticceria. They had other stuff there too, but it was pretty well rounded. But if you walked back, it looked like there was just the bar, the cafe, with a little few things gelato. I think there were like 6 or 8 bins of gelato. And then like you walk to the back and there was like another little bar, but with the bathrooms. And then, but if you walked further back, the room opened up into this huge 2-story loft room with like couches everywhere. It was crazy. I'm like, wait, I didn't even know this exists. Like it just opened up into like crazy, this beautiful room. It was really nice. But we were there waiting for an Uber that we called to take us to the train station so we can get to Rome. Okay, except there was some fashion weekend happening suddenly in Florence. And the Uber driver, we thought he was screwing us over at first, like he was trying to get us to cancel the ride or something so they can get paid because we canceled it. We didn't know what was going on. But then finally, he was typing Mr. Sithin, telling him that, like, listen, there's like, I'm trying to get there. There's like traffic and rerouting because of some fashion week thing. And then plus, don't forget, it was during the weekday. It was like a Tuesday, I think it was. So yeah, everybody's trying to go to work as well. It's a regular weekday there. It's Florence. There's a lot of people. They got to go to work. So he finally picks us up and we get to the train station. We're hanging out at the train station, just waiting out. We took the train ride from Rome, from Florence to Rome is really nice. It's fairly quick. And we, I think we did business class. So, we had the better chairs and whatnot. I had no problems. The kids were using the tablet to just kind of hang out. The scenery was gorgeous, of course. Like, I mean, I forget if that's like, I think it's a border of like, is that Umbria or Tuscany, or is it both? I don't know. I can't remember. I'm drawing a total blank right now. But needless to say, we got to Rome. No issues after that. We've always been fairly lucky with the trains and stuff when we're there. We don't really have had huge delays or cancellations. I've talked about it in the past that in Italy, they go on regular train strikes, and they will list them on their website and tell you when they're having it. And they'll also list if they're doing construction on stations that they're not running. You just need to look ahead of time before you book is all you really need to do. But they are very good with just telling you on this day, they're striking. So like I had mentioned at the very first podcast when we were talking about the Italy trip, is the literally less than 24 hours before we left, our Milan VRBO and our Rome VRBO were canceled from double booking. Okay. So normally we were able to find a great place in Milan. It all worked out to be in a good area. Perfect, right? We were one stop away from the Duomo on the subway. It wasn't a big issue. Everything was super convenient, tons of cafes, not a big deal. Rome was another matter. It was very, very hard to find a place in Rome during Jubilee year. And also right after the Pope died and a new Pope gets, voted in and chosen. And he turns out to be da Pope. And, now you've got people who are there from the Midwest or from America who would normally not had been scheduled to go to the Vatican, want to go to the Vatican to see the first American Pope. And it was a little sketchy trying to find some place, because not all places are created equal. Pretty much all the VRBOs, unless they were like $600+ a night, which wasn't happening for me. I'm like, nope, not doing it. Were taken and booked, which duh. Okay. I knew that. That's why I booked so far in advance. Okay. So then it was like, oh gosh, now I need to find a place. We were originally going to stay in Campo Fiore, which is a neighborhood that's very central to the area, but there was nothing available there. So the only place I could find was in Rome, in the Trevi district by the Trevi Fountain, which if you've ever been to Italy, just imagine you're in Rome. It is the most populous place, probably outside of the Colosseum and the Pantheon. Okay. Like we're talking in peak times in July and August could be literally shoulder to shoulder with people. And during peak times in June, you're going to find that as well. So I wasn't really happy that nothing was open except for in Trevi District. Now, not only could we not find an apartment or like a regular hotel room that was affordable, the only thing I could find was a place that was a maison. So it was called Maison Trevi, and I'm going to give them a shout out because, in all honesty, if you're looking for a really affordable place to stay that was clean, and you don't care about like all the perks of having a kitchen and all that, it had a literally just think private hostel. I don't know how else to say it. I don't mean hostel in a bad way. So imagine an apartment in an old building. So her family has owned this apartment building, these apartments for quite some time. And they take a whole apartment and they literally section them off into big rooms, give them, exclusive private bathrooms. And then they rent those rooms out to people. So you have to enter the apartment and then you walk down the little hallway in the middle. Ours kind of zigzagged a little. And I think there were 1, 2, 3, 4 apartments within the big apartment, if that makes sense. So 4 rooms with private bathrooms that are your rooms. They were air conditioned, which you need to ask for when you go to Rome, or to Italy in general. A lot of places in Europe do not have air conditioning. We talked about that. This place was air conditioned, so we had that going for us, and it was already running when we went in, but it was so clean. And the woman who ran it was wonderful. And I can't think of her name offhand, so I'm kind of like, oh, I'm so sorry. But Maison Trevi. It was ideally located on another hill, people, just like Florence. It wasn't as steep, but it was right between the gallery and going down it was literally like less than a 4-minute walk to Trevi Fountain, which was very advantageous later on in the trip. We were able to go to Trevi and see that they had, you can go early and beat all the crowds. And then they start putting the barriers up from 9 a to 9 p.m. They put the barriers up and you got to wait in line. And it's usually super crowded, but, it was ideally located. Now, at the end of the trip, I would have loved for everybody to have their own space, which is what we originally had, and a kitchen to just kind of chill. And we did not have that. We didn't have a microwave. We had a fan, an air conditioner, a TV, a wardrobe. At that point, we were just living out of our suitcases, and a little mini fridge. It was super clean. She asked us every day if we wanted clean towels. It was modern. What's funny is they had these lights fixtures that you didn't realize until you looked at them, and there's no other way for me to. So Mr. Sith we actually put a chair under one because every time Mr. Sith walked by it, he would hit it because it was low. I guess low for tall people. Nobody else hit it but him. So he put the chair there so we could walk around it and not hit it. But if he stood right under it where the hole was, it looked like the top of an ice cream cone or a sperm. Whatever works. If you know, you know. But that's what it looked like. It's what it looked like. It was like the joke. We knew it looked like that. We wound up going to get, we needed coffee. Like it was, we just needed coffee because it was midday. We had traveled. We had coffee in the morning, but it was time for coffee before riposo, our rest time. So we wound up stopping at a place called Cafe Roma, which is also a gelateria. They have horrible reviews online. Their coffee was fine. So I don't know, like if you're going there for gelato or whatnot, it's not a place I would go for gelato because they had them open and mounded. And that's usually a no-no for actual good gelato, as I've discussed in the past, should be in a stainless steel container and there should be a lid on it. So you shouldn't have it be piled up. Gelato could never be piled up high because it would just literally smush over. It doesn't have the content to hold it together to stack up high. So you're probably having ice cream, but you're not having gelato. You know what I'm saying? So, and there's a huge difference. If you don't know, you will not know until you have gelato. Gelato is soft and creamy to the palate. It's just so different and rich. Ice cream is like harder, and you can, like, when they scoop it, you can see where the ice cream separates for where the scoop is. It's kind of like more icy. It's hard to explain unless you had it. But yeah, if you look at a picture of gelato and you look at a picture of ice cream, you can clearly tell the difference. But we went to Cafe Roma. We had coffee. I think the kids had, or the kid, I think Peter just had more peach juice. He was all into the suka peshka. He loved that, the peach juice, wherever he went. But it was a nice bar. We had coffee there. We were pooped. It was hot, and it got hotter like every day. It was right outside of Trevi Fountain. So we got some like nice shots of the fountain with minimal people in front of it because of where I was taking it. So there's that. A couple other buildings, just side streets. We were exploring a little bit. We wound up going to, I think it's called, I'm looking now and I'm wondering if this is, we went and had dinner somewhere, but there is a restaurant that I wanted to have dinner on, and I think I took a picture of it. I'm looking through my pictures. I'm talking to you guys. But we were just walking up and down the little tiny streets between our, we only had to cross one major intersection, but it was not a big deal because we just crossed with everybody else. In Italy, people will just cross. If there is a gap, people will cross. There is no jaywalking, all of that kind of stuff. You cross where you can cross, period. There is no thing. It's so funny because we walked past the Pinocchio store. So there is a store that is like 100% dedicated to all Pinocchio stuff. It is the most gorgeous store. Not gorgeous. I don't know what happened there. It's the most gorgeous store. It's really cute. I personally am not a Pinocchio fan. One of Dumbo, don't come at me. Dumbo and Pinocchio are like two of my least favorite Disney, like old Disney. Just, I don't know. The whole story itself is messed up, both of them. Just, not that they're not all messed up in Disney, but they're just two of my least favorite. And I'm not a fan of puppets. You know what I'm saying? So that right there is like, pass on that. But this is one of the things that was in Destination X, the show. One of the clues was the Pinocchio store. And immediately my mom's like, I totally knew where they were because you posted the picture that you were at the Pinocchio store in Rome. And as soon as I saw the Pinocchio store it gave her, she was like, they're definitely in Rome because Denise just took a picture of that. So it was kind of fun to watch. We wound up just so on our travel days, we just wander a little bit. We don't have anything planned and we have dinner. That's it. Okay. And I recommend you guys do the same. I'm in that Rome-wise group on Facebook, and these people are like, we fly in and we land at 10:30. I'm guessing it's going to take me to get from the Rome airport to downtown where we're staying by the Colosseum, but we have to be at the Vatican at 6:00. And it's like, why? Do not schedule yourself anything major like the Colosseum, the Roman Forum, the Trevi Fountain, the what else? Circus. Do not go to the Pantheon. Do not go to Vatican City literally the day you get to Rome. Please don't, because you're going to be miserable. Because most Americans, if you haven't traveled before, especially to Europe and to Italy, you don't realize how much walking you have to do and the heat. It's crazy. Like, relax yourself and get ready for the next day. Like, start pumping up, drink water, do your, make sure you bring, I always travel with immunity booster. And I told you, we found the crystals this time. So everybody was taking them like Pop Rocks. I don't know that I liked that, but it was convenient to just have the packets on you. and not have to worry about needing water because I put mine in water, but who cares? And then you had Pop Rocks at the bottom. You got some of them, you didn't. They stuck to the bottom of the cup. No harm, no foul. But it was easier, I feel, to get the kids to take them by doing, I say that, but even my 20-year-old niece was like, I like these. So, and then another thing I would travel with, because the ones I bought in Italy were natural. But I had talked about this on another episode too, is to definitely bring a something to add to your water in little packets as a hydration electrolyte. I bought some in Italy when we were in Florence, and nobody drank them but me because everybody said they tasted like dirty dishwater with lemon. And I'm like, okay, I'm just drinking this for hydration. It doesn't have to taste like anything particular. But yeah, they weren't fans. So we wound up eating at this really cool restaurant called Trattoria Tritone, 1884. I'm guessing that's the existence of it. If you look up it online, there's a name after it that says Antonio Camponeschi. It was really cool. It had this beautiful mural on the wall, and we had some pretty good food there. It's got like bottles and bottles of wine everywhere. We had cacio e pepe again. So cacio e pepe is from Rome. So I highly suggest that you get that whenever you're there as well. It's yummy in general. Everywhere we went that we ordered it was wonderful, but Rome is the place. We also got grilled veggies while we're there. We got grilled eggplant, grilled zucchini, and I believe it was garlic rabe, like garlic scapes. I don't know if people know what garlic scapes are, but they were like grilled. Though, the one thing they don't do in Italy that I will travel with next time is they don't really salt their food properly. I know that sounds strange because I'm not talking about grabbing some white Morton salt and like yanking it all over everywhere. I feel like these grilled veggies would have been even more yummy because they were perfectly grilled if they actually just had some salt on it. So I think if I traveled again, I would bring a little shaker, like a plastic shaker of pink salt, just to kind of not have to ask for salt, but at the same time, have it available, if that makes sense. Because even their meat and stuff, they don't salt properly. They don't season anything properly. But hey, the pastas and stuff, you don't ain't got to touch that because that's perfect. So they got half of it right. You know what I'm saying? But they do perfectly know how to grill vegetables. Amazing. So again, my niece got the cacio e pepe. I got the carbonara. I forgot what Peter got. I think Peter got carbonara as well. And then I forget what Mr. Sith got. I'm looking at the picture here. I think he got some sort of meat sauce, like maybe a ragu with the tagliatelle. It's pretty yummy. But yeah, Peter was out like a light by the end of the night. He was done. Which, when you're running around the first day and you're in a travel mode as well, it seems like because you're in a travel mode, you wouldn't be as tired because you didn't really do anything that day. But in all honesty, it kind of tires you out because you're moving, you're dragging your suitcase everywhere. And, that's another thing. A lot of people, I had somebody reach out to me and ask, like, what do you do with your suitcases? Well, number one, this time I was very on top of things, I should say, on making sure that the trains were timed with check-ins. Okay. Your check-ins are not standard like they are here in the States. They could be anywhere from 10 a.m. in the morning till 3 p.m. at night. Some check-ins that are late. So if you think you're doing yourself a favor by saving money on airfare by flying and coming into Italy late, so your plane comes in at 10 o'clock. By the time you get your luggage, you're going to check in around midnight at your place, right? A lot of places will charge you for that, for late check-in, because these are people who have to now get up and check you in. You know what I'm saying? So, keep that in mind because not everybody knows that. There will be a fee charge, a fee assigned to that for late check-in. Not all the time, but it happened in more than one spot. We didn't have to worry about paying it because we checked in on time. But yeah, you have to consider that. A lot of places never assume that the place you're staying, especially a VRBO, will hold your suitcases. It's always okay to ask. I always try to make sure that our arrival time is super within the amount of time. Never assume. Americans do this all the time. Never assume that because you got to the city 2 hours prior to check-in, that check-in is available for you. It is not. Okay, I'm going to explain this again. If your check-in is at 3 p.m. and you got there at 11 o'clock, okay, 11 a.m., don't think that you can just show up at your apartment or call them and be like, we got here early. Can we check in? And then they say, well, no, you can't. And then you get all mad. No, that's not how it works. So they have stricter cleaning requirements, or they're supposed to anyway. That's why the Bologna apartment was an issue. But you will find that everything is more than clean in the apartments in Europe because they're still cleaning or having to clean under COVID requirements. So you shouldn't have any issues getting into that apartment. A lot of times what I will do is, in the past, we have said, I understand our check-in is not until 3 p.m. However, we would love to explore the city a little bit. We're getting in early. We arrive at, noon. Do you know somewhere, or is there a place available within the building that we can safely store our luggage so that we can, explore? And most 99.9% of the time, they will tell you that yes, that you can just drop off your luggage. They'll give you already received the codes to check in and go into the apartment. So they'll just tell you to open up the apartment, put your stuff in there, and they'll clean around it. That's all. And then you go back at 3 o'clock when the proper check-in was, and your stuff will be there and the apartment will be clean, period. Right? They usually meet you there because you have to pay city taxes. Sometimes the cities will have systems set up that you can pay. They'll send you the link to pay the city tax. When they get that's been paid, then they'll give you all the security stuff to sign in to get into and enter the apartments. And then sometimes they'll meet you there because the city is not set up, like Parma, right? Parma was not set up, neither was Florence, to have that available online. So they just meet you there, collect the tax, and show you around the apartment, and you're good to go. But yeah, never assume that you can just check in early and then get upset, well, whatever. That's on you. And if you can't drop off your luggage there, know that on almost every city that we were in every city that we were in Italy, okay, and I'm assuming it's this way everywhere nowadays, there are stores and businesses that participate in a program with an app that you can look it up, that will allow you to drop your luggage off and then just pick it up when you're ready to pick it up and go to your apartment. So this way you can explore without dragging your suitcase everywhere. Because in all honesty, it's worth paying. Because if you thought dragging your suitcase around an airport was annoying, at least it's smooth, peeps. Okay? It's not so much fun to drag your suitcase around a neck to neck with, shoulder to shoulder with people in a tourist area down tiny little streets with cobblestone. Okay. Cobblestone from, before our country was in existence. So there's that. That's all I got for today. We'll talk a little bit more next week. I will talk more about Rome. I'll just go through each day separately so that I don't consume the whole podcast with it. And then there are some things that I want to talk about that I have on my schedule. So until next week, lead with kindness. Bye.